I had someone ask me how to move on from an ex. How do you get out of that stage where you still care about what they doing, you still care about who they with, you're still in love with them, you can't appreciate the people in your life because you're still focusing on them, focusing on the things that you love about them. It's so funny how a lot of the times in relationships, in past relationships, in relationships with our exes, we hang on to the good things. Because you got to remember, you didn't fall in love with them because of the bad things. Like, I know we see some people sometimes, we're like, how the hell do you love him or her? And you gotta go, not all the time were they the most horrible person in the whole world. I bet you they weren't the most horrible people. I can guarantee they probably weren't. I can guarantee they probably were really good people towards you because they felt like they needed to be. You know, they didn't want to show their true colors. And then when they got comfortable, they started to show their ass, as I call it. And when I say show their ass, I mean they started to get a little comfortable and show you who they could be, how trifling they could be, how manipulative, how much of a liar. And we go, oh, but they were so good in the beginning. Oh, but you know, he or she showed me so much love, or she was so beautiful to me in the beginning, and all of a sudden she just turned into this asshole. They're signs. And as people, like I said, we tend to hold on to things like that, the beautiful things. But like I've always said, and I always will say, when the good outweigh the bad, it's time to move on. See, because I thank my ex. I thank my ex because at the time I couldn't. I was too hurt. I couldn't get past all the things she had put me through. But what I did see and what I have come to realize is that it was a blessing in disguise. It was a beautiful, positive thing that came out of it. Because for one, I grew so much. And I was able to differentiate what I did want out of a relationship and out of a significant other, partner, girlfriend, wife, whatever, and what I didn't want out of life and love. What I would not put up with, and what I could try to grow with that person with. See, it's totally different. Everybody's going to have their flaws, of course. We all have one flaw or another that we need to work on. Whether it is that we don't listen, we don't have enough patience, we don't compromise, whatever the situation is. We all have our little flaws, our little faults. But like I always say, the good should never, never outweigh the bad. It should never be more bad and more heartache and more cries than there is smiles and happiness, than there is you guys talking it out and working it out and compromising with each other. It should never be breaking stuff, fighting each other physically, or cussing each other out, putting each other down. It should never be that. But it should be a lot of kind of really soul searching each other, like soul searching yourself and then looking at each other. Like I said, I think my past relationship, I thank my ex because she really did help me in a way. It was like a lesson learned. Not that it made me cold, not that it made me scared to trust anyone. It just made me aware of what I wanted and didn't want in a relationship, what I was willing to deal with, and what I know that I should never have to deal with in a relationship. Now, that's the key. People say, oh, well, how do you get over? How do you get over? I'm not here to tell you how you should deal with it, but I am here to help. And my best way was looking at the fact that I didn't take it as the most horrible thing in the world that we broke up. I took it as, wow, this one door closes, another one opens. This is a sign. Look at it for what it is. And I really looked at the situation, and she did me more justice by showing me her true colors before we even stepped into marriage or trying to have a kid together than she would have 20 years down the line, and we're married and I found out that she's done all these horrible things behind my back. I think that sometimes it's more justice. I think sometimes it is more justice and better, and it's a better lesson and a better situation when you can really look at it from a perspective of growth. Not everybody who comes in your life and not everybody that you be in a relationship with is going to be there forever. Sometimes they're just there to teach you something about yourself, something about your future, something about what you want or don't want, or like I said, something about yourself that you never noticed or never knew about yourself. Sometimes they teach you how to be strong. Sometimes they teach you stuff. So yeah, at the time it may really hurt and you may feel like your heart is broken in millions of pieces. But you'll get over it. You will. But don't hold on to the good memories, as we call it, the ones that they showed us in the very beginning. Because that's what'll keep you holding on to someone, is you holding on to the good memories. Because I'm sure you're not sitting there going, I remember when that bitch cheated on me. I remember when she said this. And I remember when he said that. And I remember when she did this. And I remember when he did that. You don't do that. You remember, oh, I remember when she took me here and she said this and he said that. And I remember when she told me she would never leave. And I remember, you hold on to some of the most positive things when there was so much negative in the relationship. And at the time, and right now, what you need to do is sit down and evaluate it. Evaluate it for what it is. And if you still holding on to that person and you've moved on, supposedly moved on, but you're in other relationships with people and you're still holding on to that person, and you know what I mean, because you know you can't fully give yourself to that person, because every now and then you'll still think about them. Hell, if it ain't every day. And sometimes you're still wondering what they're doing and what they're up to, not because you really want to know how they're doing as a friend, but you're more worried about how they're doing and what they're doing as a girlfriend or boyfriend, because you want to know, because you want to be in their business, because you still care, because you still love them, or you still see them. I can see my ex now and I feel nothing. But some people, they can see their ex right now and their heart drops to their knees. They can't even breathe for 5 seconds, because that's how much of an effect their ex had on them. And it's all because they're holding on to something that is no longer there. It's kind of like that Life Jennings song, Goodbye. You ever heard that song? Y'all should look it up. But it's a beautiful song. And it talks about if your mom, like, if you've been taught right from wrong, nobody should hold you down this long. And you're holding on to something that's already gone. It's true. We do that. As people, we try to hold on to what's no longer there. Like I said, holding on to memories. Not really moving on, and we're missing out on good people. So as somebody who's coming out of that situation, who can truly, honestly, I can see my ex, and I have, and just be fine with it. Like, hey, what's up? Don't care if you with a girl. Wish you well. Wish you damn well. That's how I see it. It's like when you can wish your ex well about the shit she's done to you or he's done to you, and look past all the stuff they put you through, because you really don't care. It's like you're over it, and you realize the blessing that you have before you, whether it's your freedom of single life or it's another relationship that you're in. You can see it for what it is and appreciate it without kind of holding on to those memories. Because keep this in mind, you cannot move forward in life if you're still holding on to the past.